Hello. Leaving Coimbra was not so easy, even though Jonathan and I gave ourselves 20 minutes to find our bus. We were actually a little bit late. Thankfully, the bus was a lot later than us, but we were scrambling because the bus stops in Coimbra, it's like a collection of bus stops all in one place, and so we got there and we looked at every bus stop that we could find, but we couldn't find the posting of the route that we were supposed to take of the bus route, the bus line number, or the destination. We couldn't find information about this posted anywhere. Eventually, our bus got there, and we rode it, and now we are here in Vila Real. And the very first thing I would say that I noticed about Vila Real is that it is very beautiful. It is dry, like a lot of Portugal is, but I don't know, there's something about the air here or the sun, like the skies are very clear and the sun shines very strong, very brightly, and I just feel like the whole place kind of sparkles with this sunlight. It's more radiant somehow. And the city looks nice too. It just the streets are I like the way they're designed better. It feels like there's more greenery incorporated into the design, and the streets are cleaner, and the buildings look more well organized. And I just like the city. I just like how it looks, and I like how the houses look too. So Villarreal is kind of surrounded by mountains. Um, we're actually near those mountains. Our hostel, but the city itself is more or less surrounded by mountains. And when you're in the city and you can see the mountains and you can see all of the houses with their orangish roofs just collected there on the mountain, and that's also a very nice sight to see. John and I actually have our own rooms this time. This isn't like a dorm style hostel like we've been getting. This is actually an Airbnb location that is a proper apartment that we've gotten to rent out to ourselves for only $22 a night. And so this one's one of the best places and one of the best values we've gotten on this journey so far. The rooms, even though there's no AC, it stays particularly cool, especially if you close the windows when the peak sunlight hours are, when the sunlight would be coming in. And so it stays surprisingly cool, even though the weather here has been okay. Yesterday was kind of another scorcher, kind of unforgivably hot day, but otherwise it's been surprisingly well regulated in here, which is really nice. And the hosts were really nice too. The host, his wife, came to pick us up from the bus stop and showed us around, and they seem like nice people too, which is always good. Another thing about the location is that at night you can see the city lights, and that is quite nice to look at. Now the fact that the city is down there and we're up in the mountain at an apartment is a little bit of a nuisance. We have to pretty much take a bus to get into the city, which, as you can imagine, is a minor inconvenience. It's also a minor inconvenience that Uber does not operate here. We believe that ride sharing services like that are banned by the city to protect taxi drivers. So it's not so easy to fetch a ride here. Bus isn't too expensive, thankfully. It's only about €1.05 to ride in per person. So we can take that, and we have taken that into the city for groceries and things like that. Speaking of groceries, my culinary adventures continue. I made a beef stew, a hearty beef stew that has produced 3 dinners, 3 meals. So cooking is just something that think I've always wanted to have more time to do, and now between the time that I've had and the necessity to eat, I have just been doing more of it, and I've been having fun with that. So I've never made beef stew. I've also never baked, but I baked something. Not because I like baking, but because I had sugar, eggs, flour, and butter on hand, and so I thought I'd put those together and see what I got. Um, I got something that kind of tasted a little bit like a cupcake, like a muffin, but it was a little bit harder than a muffin. Um, I don't know. That was fun to to make that and not really know what to expect. I don't really know what we would do here for activities. There was a park that I wanted to see, Park at Florestal, and it was a nice park. We took a walk there. I actually found a calisthenics park, which it has been a mission of mine to do calisthenics on this trip. I have not necessarily found the time to do much calisthenics yet. I have a handful of excuses, but I'll keep those to myself. I think I'll just try to do better in the future with that. But I did get a pretty nice workout at the calisthenics park, and I also enjoyed the sightseeing there in the park and around the city too. We did some walking around the city as well before we went to the grocery store. So this trip has been this city has been one of sightseeing and appreciating beauty and relaxing and meditating in downtime. Man, I like that. There is a national park that's not too far away, but we're having trouble figuring out the logistics of how to get there and back, given that there's no ride share here. So I don't think we'll be able to see that, unfortunately. So at the time of recording, it is the 14th of September. We are leaving this hostel in this city tomorrow. Our checkout is noon, and our bus is scheduled for 4 o'clock. So we will have to figure out how to kill some downtime there. Hopefully, we can be a little earlier and plan our bus better this time. Um, it's the same. It's the same bus stop. That's not an issue. We're going to be heading to Braga, which is a city slightly northeast of Porto, which is the second biggest, or maybe the biggest city in Portugal. We'll be heading to Porto. I'm sorry, not to Porto, but to the nearby city Braga, and continuing our trend of going north. After our stay in Braga, we will continue north, finally reaching Spain. And I'm really looking forward to that.